What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Grind. So I've gotten a lot of questions about leaderboard, grinding for guns, how it works, how can you get on the leaderboard, how does everybody do it, and there is not very much information online about how this system works. Call of Duty Mobile doesn't really explain how it works. There's no information online outside of a few forums that explain how it works. I've personally had 3 different weapons on the leaderboard at the same time and still currently do. The VLK Rogue is on regional leaderboard, the Vargo is on global, and the RAL is also on a regional leaderboard. So today I'm going to explain exactly how it works and share the strategy I've used to climb leaderboards. So you can find the leaderboard tab here at the top right, and then under leaderboard, and then under weapons. So as you can see, I'm number 55 for the RAL MG, and the current region I have selected is South America. You can select any region here that you'd like. Just be aware that once you change this, it does take 7 days before you're allowed to change it again. So you can also go in here and select any gun that you'd like to see. For example, here's the Vargo. For regional, I'm 15 and currently 61 for global for that. And I can also go in here to my shotgun, the VLK Rogue. Not on global, but I am on regional, number 58 for it. The first thing to understand about the rules change depending on how many weapon mastery points that you have. From 0 to 2,000 points for a gun, you can earn mastery points in public matches or ranked. Your rank doesn't matter at this stage. You'll receive points. However, once you hit 2,000 points, your weapon reaches Diamond Mastery. From that point on, you can only earn mastery points in ranked multiplayer or battle royale matches. However, you must be at master ranked or above to receive points when you're above 2,000 gun points in those 2 game modes. Then once you reach 5,000 points, the requirements change again. From 5,000 points and above, you must be legendary in either multiplayer or battle royale to continue earning mastery points, depending on which mode you play. If you're not legendary, you won't earn any mastery points for your gun no matter how well you play. The biggest mistake I see a lot of players make is once you're above 5,000 points, you actually can lose mastery points if your team loses while you're using the weapon. A lot of players use their leaderboard gun every single match. They gain a few points from a win and then lose them the next game. You essentially end up making no progress. A lot of different strategies exist for getting leaderboard points for guns. There's a few that I have used that have been pretty successful that I'm going to explain to you today. I'm going to talk a little bit about MP to start. When you start an MP ranked match, you can use the gun that you're most comfortable with. This ideally would be a gun that you're not trying to grind for leaderboards. Use a gun you're comfortable with and that you're good with. That way you can try to win the match. Once you're confident that your team is going to win, switch to your leaderboard weapon for the rest of the match. So I would make a judgment call on what the score is currently at and judging from how the other players on the enemy team are playing. Once I see that they're playing pretty consistently and we're winning the match, I would then switch to my leaderboard gun so that I could earn points for global. Now this can be a double-edged sword because you can lose points if you don't win, so really use your best judgment before you pull out your leaderboard weapon. If the score is too close, I would not risk it because you will lose points. Now, as for BR, you can use it in BR if you're above 5,000 points as long as you're legendary. There's a lot of different strategies that I see players use. You can do it within tournament and get points that way. There's usually less try-hard people playing in tournament, so sometimes you can get more points that way. And as long as you use it and perform within the top 3, you're going to get points for it, a decent amount. And if you don't finish top 3, you'll still get some points, but this is a safe strategy so that you don't lose points every game. Another thing I see everyone get confused about is the seasonal reset. So every 2 seasons, rank resets. If your weapon has more than 5,000 mastery points, it will go back down to around 3,500 points, sometimes slightly higher. It just depends how many mastery points you have. If your weapon is below 5,000 points, it doesn't get reset. So don't panic after you log in after a reset and notice your weapon mastery is dropped. That's completely normal. And finally, I want to talk about the weekly leaderboard reset. So just because you may see that you've reached the leaderboard for regional and you've reached tier position 90, for example, that doesn't necessarily mean you automatically get a leaderboard badge and you're on the leaderboard and it's done. You have to wait for the reset. So if you're doing it in between reset, you'll have to wait until Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern time currently, or 7 p.m. during daylight savings time. Whatever tier that you are at on the leaderboard, by that time, the leaderboards close. You will get that tier by midnight as a cemented badge. Be aware that after 8 o'clock Eastern time or 7 o'clock Eastern time during daylight savings time, any progress you make will not be counted for that week for the leaderboard reset. The leaderboards remain frozen for 4 hours. By midnight, they do open back up and you'll receive that badge for being on the leaderboard.